Good morning, YouTube family. You just saw some of my notes there. um, so happy crappy hour to you guys and happy Thursday. Hope that everybody is doing well today. Welcome to Escape from Crazytown, where we try to help each other get out of the crazy town that the narcissist creates for them and also for us. Unfortunately, they will pull us into their crazy town and trap us there. So hopefully we can escape, get out of there, and stay out of there. So today, I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Hey, you guys, I'm trying to figure out, I don't know why I got to talk to YouTube because this is happening more and more that I'm not able to see people getting on. Let me see. Okay, actually, it's working. Okay, you guys, sorry. I was thinking that maybe YouTube was kind of messing with me again. So, welcome. And I hope that you guys are doing well this morning. Sorry, I'm saying that again. There is a topic today that I want to discuss because I think that it's our nature to try to fix relationships and at least try to have peace, with the people around us. Good morning, John Bailey. Good to see you. So glad that you're here. So I'm letting some of you guys, giving you guys a few minutes to get on or a few seconds here before we jump into the topic. But the topic is, what is it that we do that just does not work with the narcissist? There's one particular thing that we may try to do, and we probably have done it, but then it was to our detriment. It was actually used against us, and the narcissist became even uglier when normally when we use this to try to have peace in a relationship, it normally works. So good morning, you guys. Just be real. I like that. I like your handle there. Good morning. And Lighthouse, good to see you. And just be real, Gray Rock. Well, actually, Gray Rock works, right? It's something else that doesn't work with the narcissist. Free Spirit, good morning, good day to you. Yeah, the thing that I want to mention right now and is that we want to appeal to the narcissist's humanity. That's it. Because in most relationships, you would think that if you are vulnerable with somebody else, if you open up to somebody else, if you let the other person know that they hurt you, not by attacking them or anything, but just letting them know, when you said that, it made me feel this way or it hurt my feelings. You would think that would work with everybody, but it doesn't work with a narcissist because they don't have empathy, right? Most people, if you try to tell them or let them know that what they're doing is damaging you, they would stop doing it, right? Because most people would back off and say, oh my gosh, I did not mean to do that to you. I did not mean to hurt you. And I didn't realize that my saying this or doing this or whatever it is that's happening, putting you in this situation hurts you. So they try not to hurt you. But it has the opposite effect with a narcissist when you try to appeal to them, when you open up and you become vulnerable with them. It just doesn't work. And we're going to talk about all the things that happens though when you try this with a narcissist. What happens when you do open up to them, when you do become vulnerable with them? And it's actually really just their behavior is so opposite and contradictory to what we know as human behavior, right? It just doesn't seem normal. It doesn't seem rational. It's completely illogical. And that's why I call it crazy town. It's absolute crazy town. You cannot use reason in crazy town. You can't use logic. You can't reason with these people. You can't appeal to their humanity. You can't be vulnerable with them. You can't be human with them. That's the sad part about a relationship with a narcissist. I'm going to stop for a minute and say hi to some of you guys. Hi, Kay Gola, good to see you. Lighthouse says, the worst thing when I decided to open my heart to a narc, I lost my dignity. Exactly. That's why this is the one thing I really want to discuss today, because it's the one thing that we did that allowed the narcissist in and do even more damage to us. So that's why when you have done that, and that's kind of, everybody has done this with a narcissist who's been in a romantic relationship or a very intimate or close friendship with a narcissist, you become vulnerable. You open up to them. And what do they do with that? For one, they use it if it's information and secret or deep emotional things that you don't share with everybody. They're going to smear you. They're going to use it against you and gossip about you and smear you with everybody. Then after that, you think, I want to try to still appeal to this person, but it really should be one time only that we appeal to the narcissist. We gave them the chance to be human, right? We gave them the chance to respond in a kind and compassionate way. And that's another thing. It shows you right there, their response is so crazy that we should open our eyes right away and realize we're dealing with somebody who is not emotionally there, who's just not connected to their humanity. So I noticed that there were some other things. Oh, you guys, I do want to talk about why we do Happy Crappy Hour. And the main thing from this is that we want to talk about what happened that was good this week and what happened that was bad this week. So I'll let you guys think about that as well. If you have any ideas or things that happened to you this week or that you did that was really great, and you want to continue doing that because we want to improve our lives. We want to continually build step by step, right? To heal and to get better and to build a beautiful life for ourselves. Then the crappy is, what did we do this week that didn't work, that made things worse, right? And we want to stop doing that. And, it really sucks. And I'll share with you right now a crappy that happened to me. But let me say hi to a few more people. Amina, good to see you. So glad to see you from Germany. Matthew, good to see you. Seeing the world with different eyes is scary and refreshing also. Yeah. And Joyce, yeah, you said no contact. Absolutely. That, no contact works with the narcissist. So these are things, some of the suggestions that you guys were talking about, gray rock or no contact, those work with a narcissist. The thing that does not work with a narcissist is appealing to their humanity, opening up to them, letting them know that they hurt you. That does not work with a narcissist, because in Crazytown, what that does is it opens you up to more attacks from the narcissist. Now they know what your deep vulnerability is, and now they know what it is they do that gets you straight in the heart. So that's why opening up to a narcissist, being vulnerable with them, sharing with them your shame, or trying to connect with them by letting them know that you went through the same things they went through in childhood or anything like that. Instead of connecting with you, which is what you want, that's why you're vulnerable with them, because you want to connect to this person. Instead of connecting to you, what they do is they make a mental note of how they can use this against you later, which is crazy, right? So you guys, we were talking about happy and crappy, and I do want to share with you something. I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth, but I'm allowing more people to get on and get some, their thoughts together. JW, good to see you. You said, I'm no contact for 1 month now. Plus I have a 2-year restraining order against him that was granted recently. Oh my gosh, good for you. I'm so glad. If you got a restraining order, that kind of tells me that there was something quite dangerous about this person. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad that you got out of there. And I'm glad to see you here Agriculturist says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. I'm so glad you're here. Lighthouse says, what provokes me is that although you exposed them, they are totally shameless. Yes, this is true. They're careless about your, let me see, careless about your revenge as you are an insect. I don't quite understand. Um, oh, they're also careless. And then to them, yeah, they don't care if we are trying to get back at them because we're just an insect to them. I see. I think that's what you're meaning. And they will crush us. They don't care. If we show our underbelly, if we show where we're soft and we're vulnerable, they're going to come harder at us. And I want to tell you, it's really horrid, but it makes them lose even more respect for us when we are vulnerable with them. So instead of connecting, like this is normal social behavior for humans, right? For people to connect with each other by being vulnerable with each other, right? We connect on a deeper level. But with a narcissist, when you're vulnerable with them, when you open up to them, when you share with them that they hurt you, and a lot of times, when you get hurt by a stranger or something like that, you just walk it off. You're like, the heck with this. I'm not dealing with you anymore. But with a person who's close in your life, you feel like I want to pour into this relationship. I want to make this relationship deeper. I want to make this relationship work. And that's why we open up to a narcissist who is intimate with us, who's close to us, who's our best friend, or, a very close friend, or a lover, or a spouse. And you think, if I just let you know that when you did this, it really hurt me, they lose respect for us, which is crazy, right? Because most people, you would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you in that way. I didn't mean to reject you or insult you or offend you. But no, a narcissist thinks, what the heck? You're weak and I have no respect for you now. Another thing is when you are open to them and you let them see your vulnerability, or you show them where they had hurt you and how they had hurt you, it's weird, but it like triggers this uh callous, mean, I don't even know where it comes from deep inside of them, but it's like their reaction is that they want to hurt you more. And that's the opposite, right? That's in normal, logical, reasonable people, they would respond with, oh my gosh, did not mean to hurt you. I didn't. But no, a narcissist is like, wow, I hurt you in that way. Now I know how to really hurt you. I'm going to get in even harder. And part of it is because when you tell them that they hurt you, they take it as an offense, to them. They don't see it as you being vulnerable and opening up to them other than for them to use it. But they take it like, how dare you say that I did this to you? And then they make this mental note like, okay, oh yeah, since you offended me by even telling me that I hurt you, I'm going to attack you back right where you just told me that I hurt you. And then that makes them feel. Oh, another thing is, so there are three things that it does to a narcissist when you open up to them. It makes them lose respect for you. It makes them want to hurt you more. And the third thing that it makes them do or is happening inside of them when you are open with them, it makes them feel like they're even more powerful over you. So it gives them this power over you, and they feel like, now I can really control you. I have another string that I can tie to you and make you my puppet. So those, it just doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even register in our minds that somebody would react that way. But we have to realize that a narcissist is not a normal person. Hey, you guys, so good to see you on here. I want to acknowledge some other people here. JW, good to see you. Oh, I think somebody else here. No contact. Sorry, you guys. I want to go back a little bit because I because I missed a few comments here. So, okay, I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm going to scroll back to where I left off. And Matthew, good to see you there. Matthew says, revenge is getting well and moving on. Yes, that's our, if you will, revenge, call it revenge. And not that we, because yeah, revenge is sweet, right? Sometimes. And it feels good when you know that you're doing well and this person who tried to destroy you did not succeed. And that is the best revenge. But we are also looking at how are we learning from our experience with the narcissist. And that's why we want to go pretty slowly. A big thing that we take away from that experience is that when we showed our vulnerability with a narcissist, and you can't protect yourself completely from every relationship that you're going to enter, but here's the deal. When you are vulnerable, when someone is getting close to you and you're building a relationship with them and you open up to them, watch what they do with the little bit that you do give them. Watch what they do with the vulnerable part that you give them, right? You don't want to give them the most vulnerable part of your life, but if you give them a little bit and show them a little bit of your vulnerability, watch what they do with it. Do they gossip about you? Do they then use it against you later on? Like, say you have a fear of approval, right? You don't feel like you ever got approval from your parents, and or maybe especially from your father. Like for men, a lot of men never felt like they got approval from their father. Well, the narcissist woman would, in a fight probably, or when she's disgruntled or upset or whatever, will attack you right there and say, the reason you didn't get approval from your father is because blah, blah, blah. And then she'll attack you right where you had opened up to her. Same thing with a man. If a woman says, I just feel like my last relationship was so bad, or that person hurt me so much that I feel like that person made me feel like I'm ugly, and I just don't feel like anybody or I'm as good as the next person. And when you're in a fight with that narcissist, they're going to bring that up. They're going to say, you know what? Compared to this person, you're not better. Compared to that person, you suck, And they will attack you right at the vulnerability, the thing that you told them, right? That hurts you the most. So when that happens, because it's going to happen with a narcissist, when that happens, that's when you back away. You don't let that repeat again and again and again, ignoring that big, huge red flag. So you guys, let me see what else we've got here. Lighthouse says, yes, they don't respect us. It is painful. JW says, thank you. I'm still having a hard time processing my emotions. Sometimes I feel guilty because I have a 2-year-old with a narc, yet I do not want to co-parent with him. Yeah. I'm trying to think about you feeling guilty. I guess if you can explain a little bit more than that, because, it's hard to co-parent with a narcissist. I would, try not to feel guilty about that. You have to look at the reality of your relationship, the reality of the narcissist, the reality of the relationship between the narcissist and your child. And your goal has to be to protect the child. Your goal has to be as stable a parent as you can for that child, and keep that child grounded, because the narcissist might spoil that child like crazy and make them believe they're entitled, and just make them into a narcissist themselves. But your job is to try to keep that narcissist aware. I'm sorry. Oh no, you guys, I'm reconnecting. Okay. Keep the narcissist effect on the child as limited as possible. Like, bring that child back to reality when they are with you, and say, it's great that your dad makes you feel this like you're a princess, and you deserve all this stuff, and you certainly do. But remember that hard work is, build character. Teach them about character values. Teach them to develop that in themselves, because they're not going to get that from the other narcissistic parent. But don't feel guilty that you feel like you have to come behind and kind of repair the damage that the narcissist is trying to lay into your child. Um, Matthew says, I'm in the low motivation stage of depression. Yes, I was thinking about also talking about that today because sadly, our our relationship with the narcissist often leads to depression, and sadly enough, a lot of times it also leads to thoughts of suicide. I want to let you know that you're not alone there, because being with a narcissist tears apart your ego, tears apart your confidence, your self-worth, to the point where you feel like you can't get out of this pit. They have dug this pit, put you into it, tried to bury you in it. This pit of shame, pit of guilt, pit of making you take responsibility for things that were not yours to take responsibility for, by the way. Blame, right? So you feel like you're buried in all of that and you can't do anything right, because everything in their eyes about you is that you do everything wrong and they do everything right. They're always right. We're always wrong. It's horrible, right? But the truth is, this is why I love the truth. You have to continually seek the truth. Write it out, Matthew, write it out. The lies that the narcissist said to you and the truths, right, that you know about yourself. I just wanted to share that with you because depression is definitely something that we will go through after and also during our relationship with the narcissist. JW says, it hurt so bad because I tried to make things work and be a family, but it was only a fantasy. Yeah, yeah, it does hurt because, I'm telling you, narcissists are not normal. The normal relationship building things that we do, building the when we're trying to build a connection with a person, it just does not work with a narcissist. And even when we're trying to build that connection between the narcissist and their child, our children together, it doesn't work because the narcissist doesn't see us as people. They see us as tools, as a means to get fulfillment, right? Something for them. So uh, they can behave in moments where maybe you have a great day together. You go out to a restaurant and you have a lot of fun laughing about some stuff, or you go to a movie and you enjoy that movie together, or maybe you had a day out, right? Picnic or hiking or whatever you're doing with them, and or touring around when you're on vacation. It seems like, oh, the narcissist is behaving like we're a family. But even in those times, you kind of can see the narcissist detached from the family. You kind of can see the narcissist looking around to see if other people are paying attention to them, even though it doesn't matter what anybody else around you is doing. They should be focused on you and the children, right? I totally understand. And I'm sorry that it hurts so bad, JW. Totally understand that. Matthew says, resetting and regrouping. Yes, that's what you have to do to get through the depression, to get motivated again. The motivation, and I've mentioned this in one of my videos, is it's called how getting, let me see if I can remember what it's called. Something about getting the narcissist to miss you can be a good thing. So if the motivation has to come from you wanting, excuse me, wanting revenge on the narcissist or wanting the narcissist back, use that. Use that anger, use that desire, use that impetus inside of you to take the next step to make yourself a better person. So if you're angry and you want to take revenge, well, the best revenge is getting your life back on track, right? Becoming successful. So then take that and be the most successful you can possibly be in everything that you do. Like, throw yourself into it. Be the best volunteer, be the best worker, be the best friend to other people. You're going to suddenly see yourself surrounded with incredible, motivated, happy, successful people when you start becoming like that. And even though your motivation might have been to get back at the narcissist, you're going to start building a new life separate from the narcissist. And you're going to be like, wow, this is so much better than I ever had with the narcissist. So, if it's that you want to get the narcissist back or you're trying to get their attention, well, then get healthier. Start training, start working out, start eating well, try to get to bed early, turn off the TV or your computer or phone early on, read a book, improve your mental strength, watch and learn from motivators, life motivators. It's incredible what's out there. So if you can do that, you're going to take the steps one by one to start living again. So Matthew says, I told my ex I needed help and time to regroup financially. She said I should leave the country. Well, you know what? Good thing she's not in charge of you, right? That's how, they will say things that are going to try to hurt you, and they'll make suggestions to you about what you can do to hurt yourself more. It's like, the heck with that. You gotta just ignore that. That's why the gray rock or the no contact, that works with the narcissist. That's what you have to do. You have to cut contact with them completely. Agriculturist says, they despise you for your weakness. Yes, exactly. They do. We mentioned that earlier because, I'm sorry, I am a few minutes behind you guys. But we were talking about how when you're vulnerable with them, when you tell them that they hurt you, then they feel like they have no respect for you because they see now how vulnerable you are, how weak you are. That's the way they see it, rather than, oh my gosh, I can connect with you because I've felt vulnerable in that way too. No, that's not how they respond because they're not a normal person. JW says it hurts even worse because he has new supply, never had intentions on being with me. The new supply is the complete opposite of me, and I am having a hard time with comparing myself to her. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know what? You cannot compare yourself to the new supply. They will jump from, think about it. Why was this narcissist with you? Now they're with someone completely different than you. And then after that, they're going to find someone even completely different from the two of you. So they're just getting bored. Just because this person is completely different from you does not mean that they're better than you. It just means that they open up a different, entertaining, kind of amusing life for the narcissist. So the narcissist is gravitating towards that because it's new, it's fresh, it's different. That's all it is. It's just different. And if you feel like there are some things, and here we are back at being motivated instead of depressed, if there are some things that you see that you want to become better at or you want to work on for yourself so that you would be happier with yourself, then do that. Use this motivation. And it's sad to say, but it might be jealousy. Use that motivation to make yourself into the person you want to be. Like if the other person is smarter or educated, then start reading. Start learning something for yourself. If the other person is more fit, then start working out, for yourself. And these are good things that you can do for yourself. And you're using jealousy as a motivation. And I'm not saying to stay jealous and compare, talking about what happened, what I was talking about before. I don't mean to stay angry at the narcissist or stay vengeful, right? But you can use those initial passionate feelings to motivate you into something good, into building something good. So you guys, that's what I'm hoping for. Matthew says flogging a dead horse syndrome. Yeah, that's what the narcissist does, right? They know that they've hurt you and now they're going to come back and flog you even more. Is horrid. Lighthouse says the worst thing when a narc knows about me as target and tell other narcs about me. So your dignity is attacked by so many. This is true because they will share our vulnerabilities with other people. and other people might try to attack you. But here's the thing, and I love this. I don't know if, um, you know how people say, what was it? I can't think of the saying, but essentially, when you're oblivious to something, it's actually a blessing. Like, try to be oblivious to what the narcissist is doing. Ignore it. Don't even pay attention to it. Don't give it any meaning. And even if you run into other narcissists that this person or their flying monkeys, right, that they've been talking about to, about you to them, doesn't matter. Be oblivious to it. Act as if they know nothing, even though you know that the narcissist has probably talked to them, and you know that the narcissist has already told them the secrets and the deep things, the hard things inside of that that you shared with them. So even if you know they talked about you to these other people, when you're around these other people, act as if you're oblivious to it. And you'll be surprised because they'll act oblivious too. They'll be like, wait, this doesn't kind of add up because the narcissist told me this about you, then I expect you to walk around in shame, or they expect us, right, to walk around in shame. And we're not walking around in shame. So suddenly they're like, well, if this is true about the victim, right, about you, then how come you're not behaving the way I think you should if all this is true? So essentially what you do is you invalidate what the narcissist said to them, even though it is true, even though what they shared with the other people might be true. You don't need to act as if that's going to hold you down, or that's your identity, or that's something that you're going to carry around and put yourself, you putting yourself voluntarily beneath other people. You don't have to do that. So that's my suggestion for you, how you might want to handle when the narcissist talks to their flying monkeys or other narcissists and they try to kind of gang up on you and try to see if they can shame you or put you down or whatever it is. Um, you just walk up through with your head high and smiling and happy. That's that whole gray rock, no contact, and being oblivious to the narcissist. JW says, thanks for this platform. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Joyce, good to see you. Says they have no concept of pain or emotional trauma they have caused to you. The damage they cause is powerful to them. It has taken me 30 years to put a name to this suffering by my ex and family members. Yes, I totally identify with you because I had lived a lifetime under a couple of narcissists, and then having some narcissists coming into my life as friends, I did not realize what this was. I didn't even make the connection that they were similar because, it was different kind of relationships. It's parent child, and then it was, or relative and child, and it was then friend and friend. And you don't realize that these people behave the way they do because they're exactly alike. Anyway, but once you start coming onto these channels and once you start hearing about what narcissistic personality disorder is, all the pieces start to fit. You're like, oh, holy crud. What the heck crazy town was I in? And because while you were in that crazy town, you were trying to make sense of it. You were trying to bring logic into it. And that just doesn't work. And you just stay there. If you end up staying there, you feel like you're going absolutely nuts, which is true because in Crazy Town, everybody goes nuts. You guys, let me see what else you guys are saying here. Jennifer, good to see you. Says doesn't respond to hurt me, but doesn't respond to hurt me, hurt feelings. So true. Yeah. Agriculturist says, JW, same happened with me, but you'll get over this. No contact. They only go for supply. The new one is not better, but still has energy to give. This is true because the new person doesn't know yet. They have no clue, and they may never know. That's the crazy thing. So they're worse off than we are because when they go through the trauma of discard and devaluation, they're going to wonder what's wrong with them. Whereas now we know the abuser was a narcissist. So we know what the truth is, and we know that they are to blame for the craziness that happened in the relationship. So, you guys, yeah. Measure twice. Good to see you. God bless you all, you say. Thank you. God bless you too. If you have the blessing of no contact, I envy you because co parenting with low contact or parallel parenting is not as easy as no contact, but it works. Yes. Thank you for sharing that because, yes, you want to do as low contact as possible when you have to co parent with a narcissist. You can't, sadly enough, cannot go no contact, but as little contact as possible. And if you can, have a witness with you when you have to have any contact with them. JW says, I will not co-parent with him because she is at risk for abuse as well. Yes, and that's the other side, other kind of narcissist. I'm so sorry to hear that's the case for you and your child, because the narcissist often will spoil the child. They could do that and make the child into a narcissist just like them, but at the same time, they're also going to abuse that child. They're going to demean them and degrade them and kind of make them question their value. Yeah, they play these mental games even on their children because they can. And the results are almost instantaneous with children because kids wear their emotions on their sleeves. They don't overthink things, they just react. So when the narcissist is manipulating a child, they see the result right away. And it's like, sadly, it's horrid, but it gratifies the narcissist. So, JW, if there is a way for you to cut him off completely as a parent, even offer to not, I don't know if you can do this, but offer not to take child support from him if he gives you full parental, custody. Joyce says, withdrawing myself slowly. I feel guilty for letting these people treat me so badly. I feel shame and humiliated. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. There's a really great book I started reading and I got to get it back again because I was borrowing it from the library. I think it's called Healing the Shame That Binds You. It's a really eye-opening book. Talks about healthy shame and toxic shame. So the shame that comes with humiliation is the toxic shame. The shame where it's healthy is the kind that tells you, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So now the healthy reaction to that should not be humiliation, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm so humiliated. It should be, no, I shouldn't have done that. Now I know better. I'm not going to do that again. So it changes you. The healthy shame changes you into a better person. And that's what I hope for you, Joyce, that you will take this shame that you're feeling, and we all feel shame at some point. If you take that shame and you turn it into healthy shame. Oh, in the book, it's called, again, you guys, it's called Healing the Shame That Binds You. And he talks about, I can't remember the author's name, and I'll probably give you a link to it at the bottom of this video. But in it, he talks about shame being like cholesterol. There is good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, right? HDL and LDL cholesterol. So we can't live without the good cholesterol because that keeps us healthy. And there is healthy shame. Don't think that all shame has to be toxic and that we have to feel humiliated by all the times we feel ashamed. No, use that to your benefit. Use it the way you would HDL, the healthy cholesterol, right? Use it to clear your veins of any particles that don't belong there, the dirt and of the any toxins, right, that are trying to build up inside of your body. Use that to flush out the yucky, terrible things that were starting to accumulate inside of your body. So the healthy shame is like that. You should look at the maybe bad habits you had or things that you had done in the past and go, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to address that. I'm going to heal from that so that I don't keep that in my body or in my life anymore. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the guilt and shame that you feel that is toxic. Change it. Change it to become healthy. 100 million subs with no videos. Hi, good to see you. I'm just reading that because that's what the name of your channel is. That's funny. JW says, we go to child support court next month and I am requesting supervised visits due to having the restraining order. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad that you're able to do that. Yeah, because especially if you have evidence of violence or yeah, I'm sorry about that, of someone who's damaging emotionally, physically. I'm glad that you're going to pursue that, and I'm praying that you're going to win. JW, praying for that. Matthew says, my kids don't get the emotional connection from her. No, they don't. You can't connect emotionally with a narcissist, but children still want, I mean, I don't know how old your kids are, but young children, actually even older children, we want to have a relationship with our parents. We still want approval from our parents and we'll still seek that. So, I know of some people who are going through this with their narcissistic parent, and they're full grown adults, but they don't understand narcissism yet. They're not aware of what narcissistic personality disorder is. So they think that they can still try to have a relationship with their parent because their drive, right? Their motivation, they look around and they see other people with happy, healthy relationships with their parents, and they want that for themselves. So they're going to pursue that. Um, and no, they're not going to get it from their narcissistic parent. So I'm hoping, Matthew, that for your children's sake, they will come to realize that the relationship they have with their mom is going to be limited. Like you can have a certain kind of a relationship with your parent, but it has to be a narcissistic parent, that is, but it has to be very limited. It has to have very clear boundaries, and you always have to have an exit strategy. Like when you go to visit them and they start to behave in a way that's just toxic and horrid and horrible, then you have to make an excuse to leave. Or, you think that it would be good to say to them, if you keep doing this, I'm going to leave. They don't care. They don't care about that. But you can say, if you want to have peace with them, then you just make up an excuse and say, you know what? Oh, I forgot. I have to get this done. I got to leave. Take care of it right now. Sorry, but I'll talk to you later. Just get yourself out of there without a big confrontation with them. So, yeah. Matthew says it's like it's always a sitcom sketch, no real substance, unreal reality. Like a reality show, right? Oh my gosh. Lighthouse says reclaiming the self-respect stolen by a narcissist. Yeah. You know what? Your self-respect, yes, they try to steal it, they try to take it, they try to crush it, but it is up to you. It's still up to you to build that respect for yourself. John Bailey says, mine moved on and is happy now. And that's actually a blessing, right? Well, you think they're happy and they act like they're happy. It's still misery over there. It just absolutely is. And you just don't have to bother looking at it. They can act happy in front of people. They're just good at that. They're good at putting up a facade. It's okay. Be glad. Be glad that they've moved on. Be glad that they're focused on somebody else. Be glad that they think they got this ultimate supply now and that supply is all they need for the rest of their life. That's a death sentence to their new supply. So sadly for them, they've taken on the narcissist, but thank goodness, thank God that you are free. JW says, that is so true. I became very suicidal and worthless. I felt terrible because I'm a crisis worker for a suicide hotline for my college internship. I felt so inadequate before I went no contact. Yes, you guys, we were talking about, and I'm so sorry. Please, JW, that just hurts my heart to hear that, because, and I think a lot of people who are coming on here won't, I mean, it's very vulnerable for you to say. So I appreciate you saying that, and sharing that. It's just horrible. It is, because dealing with a narcissist drives a lot of people to suicidal thoughts. Hopefully, you don't act on that, because the image that the narcissist has tried to replace in your mind about yourself is a false image. It's not doom. It's not that you're unsavable, or it's not like you're unsalvageable. It's not like your life is over. The narcissist tries to paint this. Oh, heck no. Don't let them win. Screw that. That just, really fires me up, because I just feel like, no, I will not take that from the narcissist for you. In fact, I reject it. I'm going to, push it back towards the narcissist. The heck with that. No, I will not accept that for you, JW, at all. Whatever it was your narcissist did or said that made you feel like your life is over, I just won't accept that for you. I know that your life is worthy. I know that you're worthy. I know that you can build something incredible for yourself. Oh my gosh, I have hope for you. So I don't accept that doom that your narcissist or that narcissist did to you. Okay, Joyce says, I am so ready to start the process to regain my inner peace and my life. Yes, yes. JW says, I am a lot more motivated now. I'll have to say, since no contact. I have lost weight. Yay, good job. And my skin is clearing up beautifully. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I have been using my energy for self-improvement. I am so happy to hear that, JW. Joyce says, I have gone past the stage of being jealous. He appears not to like this. Isn't that true? Like, if you're oblivious to them and you don't react to them behaving like they're happy, you're not feeling jealous towards them, they're not getting a reaction from you. No, they don't like that. Lighthouse says, John Bailey, he or she is not. Will be happy if you give him or her the chance. Lighthouse says, Joyce, wish you luck and peace. No mo narcs. Some of these titles I really love, you guys. It's great. It says, hello. Hi, no mo narcs. Love it. Love your title. My 19-year-old is a narc. Oh my gosh. You know what? I have a friend whose child is a narc. She's not a child anymore. She's an adult. She's, I think, 20 years old now. And I'd like to know what you're experiencing with your child narc. I can kind of guess what's going on and assume what's going on, but the good news is this child is now old enough to take care of themselves. So you are no longer obligated, and I know they're going to try to guilt you into being obligated to take care of them forever, and everything that goes wrong in their life is going to be your fault. You don't have to accept that. They are an adult now. You can feed them positive reinforcement, give them positive messages, but you are not responsible for them financially, emotionally, or any of that anymore, especially if they're going to try to squeeze you for all of your resources to continue to support them. So no more narcs. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more from your experience. Lighthouse says, how to scare narcs off? They are fearless. Oh, you know how to scare narcs off? You ignore them. That's how you scare them off. Like, nothing they say lands on you, and you just ignore them. That's why that gray rock works with them. They cannot stand being around somebody that doesn't acknowledge them, that doesn't react to them. So even if they behave badly, like like a child, when they're throwing a tantrum, they're on the floor and they're kicking and screaming, they'll look around to see who's paying attention, because they want someone to react to this. They need someone to react to their tantrum for them to keep throwing this tantrum. But if you walk away, the kid's going to be like, what? Wait a minute. No, you're supposed to react to this. You're supposed to give me what I want. even if it's bad attention, even if it's discipline, you need to give me attention. So even though narcs appear fearless, they are very afraid of that. They're afraid of making no impact on you. Agriculturist says what scares them most is someone with tight borders and healthy self-esteem. They move on to an easier target. Yep, they do. No More Narc says, my narc, soon to be ex, got that book. Oh, wait. Be careful, they are sly, and he is definitely a narc. The book that says the healing the shame that binds you. And No More Narc says, is this live now? It is live. I'm just kind of about 10 minutes behind in comments, you guys, because I talk about our topic and try to dispense a little bit of wisdom and advice. That's why I'm a bit behind on your comments. K Dot says, hey, I'm a little late. What's up, family? Hi, K Dot. It's good to see you. Today we're talking about what does not work with a narcissist. And the thing that does not work with a narcissist is being vulnerable with them, appealing to their sense of humanity, letting them know that they hurt you. That does not work with a narcissist. It may work with normal people because normal people would be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Now I'm going to stop doing that. I didn't mean to offend you or hurt you or tear you down. I didn't realize. But with a narcissist, they lose respect for you. There were 3 things I talked about. They lose respect for you, or even more, right? They lose even more respect for you. And it also triggers, there are 3 things that it triggers in them when you're vulnerable with them. It makes them lose respect for you. It makes them want to hurt you more. And it makes them feel more powerful over you. So that's why appealing to their humanity does not work. They don't have the empathy to see it from your point of view. And for some reason, they take offense to the fact that you're even telling them this. So that's why they turn around and they hurt you even more. K Dot says mine. Oh wait, hold on, you guys. Let me look. K Dot says, I think female narcs are worse than male. Yeah, I don't know about that because I do know a male narc who beat his wife and was an alcoholic. I think he still is. He's divorced his wife. He's married another woman, and now he beats that woman. But he tells the rest of his family what a horrible, terrible woman she is, and yet he uses her. So I don't know. And she stays, sadly, she stays for this abuse. And I don't know that, that then I know female narcs who are just as bad. In fact, I had 2 of these narcs in my family, and one was a male and one's a female, or not was, they're both there. So this is why I stay anonymous. One's a male and one's a female, and they are both actually, yeah, they're both just as bad as the other. I kind of think sometimes that the male narc is worse just because he's physical, he beats his wives. But the female narc was so not just demoralizing, like she completely destroys anybody's self-esteem who comes, who's close to her. And yeah, anyway, they're just both horrible, horrible. No More Narcs, or K Dot says, my narc experience changed my life in so many ways. Yeah, it makes you wiser, and sometimes it brings you down, but it's like it brings you down to a foundation that maybe had some cracks in it. So now you can build a stronger foundation. That's the beauty of learning and changing your life after narcissistic injury, because now you can fortify the things in your life that you need to, in your character. You find out where your real weaknesses were that allowed the narc to come in and start taking over. So now you know how to build yourself up to the point where you're self-sufficient emotionally. But I mean, I'm not saying that you will never need to have social interaction with other people. It's just that now you know how to have healthy social interaction with other people. No More Narc says, wish mine would move on, John Bailey. Yes. Measure Twice says, when the move on, you have won the lottery. Well, when they move on, you have won the lottery and just don't know it. Yes, I mentioned that. If the narc wants to leave, it's a blessing in disguise. That's one of my other videos. Lighthouse says, I was attacked and deceived by 5 narcs. How much stupidity I have. I did not wake up until so many narcs played on me. Aw, Lighthouse. Yeah, because, you have this wounding and you think that the next person coming in will be humane and who will be kind. And if they turn out to be selfish and, uh, narcissistic themselves, they're going to take advantage of that. And I'm so sorry that so many, it really shows that, to me that you have a wounding inside of you that you have to work on before you start another relationship. And that's the what is it? That's the danger of starting another relationship before you have healed, before you have worked on this thing, whatever it is, that apparently opens you up to narcissists. Find out what that is. Find out what it is that you are trying to get from your relationship with narcissists that you think, maybe it's the love bombing that allows them in. So is it that you need attention, you need affirmation, you need someone to tell you that you're a wonderful person, or that you're funny, or that you're pretty, or that you're handsome, or that you're smart and kind, or whatever it is. You need to find that kind of affirmation for yourself by yourself, and with people who do love you, people who already who are in your life that you can trust. If it's a parent or a sibling, let them know, like, boy, I feel this way, I feel unattractive, and they'll let you know, no, that's not true, you are attractive. If you feel like, whatever the deficiency is, you need to share it with somebody who's already in your life, who is already trustworthy. Trying to find a new person and just opening up to them and allowing them to come in and see that vulnerability, for narcissists, they just take over. They manipulate and take over and take advantage. So be very careful again. K Dot says, my narc is definitely gone. 8 months, no contact. Woohoo! That's like celebration time, man. Yeah. Measure Twice says, you are very lucky. No More Narc says, he left for college and I'm no contact with him. It hurt at first, but it was the right thing. Yes. Yes. Stay no contact, you guys. That does work. So, the topic today was the thing that does not work. And the reason I wanted to talk about that was because especially if you're empathic, we want to share our life with people. We want to share our vulnerabilities. And by the way, sharing your vulnerabilities, that is a hugely courageous, strong thing to do. Unfortunately, a narcissist will try to take that strength from you, that courage away from you, and make you no longer want to be courageous. Don't allow them to change you in that way. Agriculturist says, no Mo Narc says, I can email you about my narc son. Okay. If you want to email me, you guys, I have an email. It's escapefromcrazytown. Wait, is that right? escapefromcrazytown@gmail.com. So if you guys do want to email me, that's where you can contact me. And if you don't want to have your comment seen here in public. Agriculturist says, EFC, I really love your cheerful voice and empathic character. Really soothing, like therapy. Oh, thank you so much. You just made my heart smile. Thank you. No More Narc says, yes. Thanks, you guys. Measure Twice says, agreed. A great, joyful, inspiring voice. Thank you, guys. No Mo Narc says, he told me that he got a book about healing his shame. Oh, yeah. When I went no contact, I made the mistake to call him a narc, and it is Hoover change. I'm not quite sure. So now he's trying to Hoover you. It's possible. Well, narcissists carry around a lot of shame. They do. And some of them actually will try to self-heal, which is great. Good for them. Glad for them. But stay no contact, because they are not healed enough. And it's going to take them a long time to become healthy, a long time to not be toxic. So, like any toxic person, even though a narcissist is trying to figure out their life, trying to figure out why things go wrong, and they have a lot of shame, they have a lot of guilt, but they don't want to show it to people. They walk around with a big shield and they got to act like, they still hold themselves higher than everybody else. They just want to heal themselves so that they can become stronger and then more toxic and more powerful over people. So, yeah, it's not really surprising to hear narcissists looking up self-help books, going to religion or to therapy. I don't know that they go to therapy. They might go to therapy because they know they can manipulate the therapist into believing their stories, because the therapist only gets one side of the story. Like, who can you get who will not challenge you about your side of the story, right? So, yeah. It's not really surprising when you see a narcissist do this. K. Dot says, I got a healthy self esteem, and I think that's why she leaves me alone, because God knows she tries to break down. And you're right. The you appeal to them, the more they the more you appeal to them, the more they disrespect you, which is absolutely crazy, right? It really is. You guys, the time has completely flown. We are at an hour here. I'm going to let you guys finish up some of your comments to each other, but I'm also going to try to read the rest of your comments. The narc plays an empath the same way. They use pity play. They do not react themselves, but no normal people do. That's agriculturist. Yes. Yes. Persia Motorman, good to see you. It's been a while. Says, I had bipolar in my 20s. If you are in a real manic cycle, you will feel euphoria and a sense of power. Wow. So you're saying that's how a narcissist probably is feeling? Yeah. John Bailey says, she comes back now and then to check on me. Why is that? Ugh. Probably because you were good supply at some point, and she realizes that if you get back on your feet, or if you get back to the level that you were when you were giving her good supply, she's going to want you back. Maybe she's checking on that. John Bailey says, I am still trying to heal. She just jumped in a relationship right away and didn't look back. So if she's checking on you, be very careful. Don't respond. I mean, you can't stop people from looking towards you or in your direction, but you can decide whether you're going to respond to that or not. So John, just be very careful with that, especially if she moved on right away. That is not a healthy person. That's just not very healthy at all. Lighthouse says, things that don't work, hoping that a narc will be healed, or deciding to confront or expose a narc. Yeah, those, you know what? Sometimes confronting a narc or exposing a narc works, but you have to be so careful with that. You really have to have all the evidence. You have to be completely stable minded and not reactionary. You can't go flying out, crazy emotionally, because then that's going to make you look like the crazy one. K. Dot says, John, I know how you feel, but trust me, it only gets better the more you start realizing what it was. The better you feel. It just takes time. Persia Motor Man says, thank you. Likewise. No Monarch says, John Bailey, I get just checking on you all the time. I blocked his number. Now he can check on that. Lighthouse says, I love you. God bless you. I love you guys too. I love you, Lighthouse. God bless you guys. I hope that this has helped. And let me see if there was something else I was meaning to tell you. Well, this is kind of late on, and you all know since you're already here, but Escape from Crazytown, we have our Happy Crappy Hour every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you here again next week. We will catch up on the week. We didn't really talk about our happies and crappies this week, but, I guess whatever happened that was bad this week for you, learn from it and make a note to yourself not to do that anymore, or change that. Whatever happy that happened to you this week, continue doing that. Like, keep self-feeding or self-care, or spending time with people who are good, who are kind, who pull you up. Those are probably some of the happy things that might have happened this week. If they did, keep on doing that. So blessings to you guys. Happy crappy hour to you. I'm so glad that you showed up, and I'm so glad to hear from each of you. Um, have a great day, have a great week, and I will see you back here next week.